When you look at a piece of theater, what captures your interest about it? What's the most exciting thing to you?
I don't think there's one thing that is exciting. As I watch a show, it might be that there's a performance. It might be that the set and the costumes are really what's the most exciting thing about the show. It might be that it's the script. So I can't tell unless you're asking me about a very specific show.
That's true.
It's everything. I mean, obviously, I'm looking at everything. Possibly the most important thing for me as an actress are the players, of course.
That's true.
But my mind can, my vision can be taken elsewhere if that's what grabs my attention.
What was your favorite aspect about teaching? So,
it's corny to say the students, but it really is. Or was, I should say now. It's the feedback that one gets. You throw out, particularly in acting classes, you throw out an idea. I have set exercises, they're technical exercises that I want them to do because I want them to improve their technique. But every single student is going to come at those exercises in a slightly different way. So it's working with, in acting class, can you imagine 31 different, single individuals. But sometimes the dynamic that happens in those classes, it's just one. I'm talking about theatre.
Yeah.
It can be absolutely magic. And I say to often sometimes when they've done particularly a movement piece or a sound and movement piece, and they didn't want to do it, and then they do it. It's so theatrical and so magical. And I started doing splitting class in half, so at least half of them could see what I see all the time and realizing what can come out of that. So that's the acting classes. You never know what's going to happen, and it's entirely up to the dynamic of the students and how they grow with you and how they grow with each other and develop their technique. They just get better and better and better. And the lazy ones get their socks pulled up because their peers make them do that, and the loud ones, I'll do that, I'll slap them down. We've heard enough from you, let's hear. So I don't mind being rude in class after everyone's got to know me and I've got to know them, of course. Theatre history, which I taught for 20 some odd years, I just love imparting all the information. I find the history of theatre just so exciting. The fact that so many things change and that everything remains the same. It's always the same. It really is about players coming out, some kind of set, some kind of light. It might be daylight, might be sunlight, might be dawn. Really doesn't matter. Casting shadows, playing with masks or playing with faces. And it alters slightly. Politics get in the way a lot of the time, and that alters what thespians are able to do. That's kind of exciting. And the East versus the West, and how one has filtered into the other, and how we're so blended. We don't talk about appropriation quite so much these days as we used to, which I'm very pleased about. We're allowed to steal and use, and people don't go, oh, you can't do that. Anytime anyone says you can't do that, I go back to them and say, well, you can't do Shakespeare. It's English and you're not English.
That's very true.
So, but it's always the feedback. Even those who are on their computers want to start getting computers in, and I'm chatting on about something and there's a bit of a laugh, and they're so engrossed in their Facebook they don't realise I've moved around the class and I'm standing behind them. That kind of thing that everybody else in the room does. That's theatrical. It's kind of a happening, and then you get their surprise when the voice from behind them says, oh, show me that picture again. Didn't see that one.